So welcome, I'm Irene, and today I'm going to be guiding you through a beginner's Ashtanga practice where we'll focus on sun salutations and the standing poses, and particularly on variations that are appropriate for beginners. So you can just begin coming to the front of the mat. A big element of Ashtanga yoga is actually the breath, the Ujjayi breath, which basically comes down to breathing with sound and slightly constricting the throat there. If you want to explore this breathing technique a little bit deeper, do have a look at the other video I've made on Ujjayi breathing. Then when you're ready, just come towards the front of the mat. Take a moment to find your feet growing tall. Finding that nice steady rhythm of your breath. And then we'll start to move into the Surya Namaskara A, so sun salutations A. Inhale, reach the arms high, gaze up towards your thumbs. And on the exhale, start to fold forward. Now bend the knees as much as you need, dropping the weight of the head down. Inhale, then lengthen the chest halfway up. Fingertips can lift here if you need. Exhale, place hands down, stepping towards your plank pose. Now really getting strong in your plank. And then we'll drop the knees down, slowly dropping the chin and chest. Inhaling, then coming forward towards your cobra pose. So see if you can keep the legs active, toes grounding. And then tuck the toes under, lift hips up and back, and find your way into downward dog. So for this first downward dog option, to allow the heels to lift. You can also bend the knees slightly if you need here. So focusing on keeping the spine long, hips high. And seeing if you can keep the gaze nice and steady. So the gaze is looking back, traditionally to the navel. Also be looking kind of 2/3 down the mat. So we're staying here for 4. And 5. From here, keeping the hands heavy as you step towards the front of the mat on the next inhale, opening the chest again halfway up. And on the exhale, fold forward, dropping the head down as you need. Inhale, reach the arms high, gaze up towards your thumbs. And exhale, lower arms down, Samastiti. So we do this a few times, and each time, hopefully the body starts to get warmer. Inhale, lift the arms high, gazing upwards. Exhale, fold forward. Again, option bending the knees as you need. Now on the inhale, open the chest. See if you can draw the belly in. Exhale, now bend the knees if you need. Ground the palms. Step to your plank pose. Lower again through the knees. See if you can keep elbows close as you lower chin and chest towards the mat. Now scoop the belly forward. Press into the hands and the feet as you start to lift up. Maybe lifting slightly the hips for your upward dog. And then on the exhale, hips come up and back again for your downward dog. So we're pausing in downward dog for 5 breaths. Making sure that you're spreading the fingers, grounding, particularly with the index finger and thumb that want to lift a little up from the mat. Staying for 3, 4, keep drawing the weight back into the legs, and 5. On the inhale again, keep the hands heavy, bending the knees, and then you step to the front of the mat on the inhale, open chest halfway up. Exhale, fold forward, again bending the knees a little if you need. Now on the inhale, reach the arms high, gaze all the way up towards your thumbs, and exhale, lower arms down, Samastiti. So we do these 3 more times. Inhale again, reach the arms, look up. Exhale, fold forward. See if you can keep the belly drawing in a little. Now on the inhale, open the chest halfway up. Legs want to be long here. Exhale, ground the palms, stepping to your plank pose. And then we're trying to build the strength in the arms. So slowly, slowly drop the knees, chin and chest. Inhaling, coming forward. Press into the hands and the feet. Chest reaches forward. And exhale, hips up and back again. Downward dog. Seeing if you can keep the breath even, moving through the nose. Staying here for 3. 4. Keep drawing the weight from the front of the thighs towards the back of the legs. And 5. Bending again the knees. Keep the hips high and then step or jump to the front of the mat. Opening the chest halfway up. And on the exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, circle the arms, look all the way up. And exhaling back to Samastiti. Inhale, reach the arms high, gazing up, palms come together. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, lengthening the chest halfway up. Exhale, now ground the palms. See if you can lift up the heels, so you're kind of coming to the balls of the feet. Knees can bend a little, and then you're going to try to use this momentum to step or jump back. Lowering down, again, maybe lower in one line or drop the knees, chin and chest. Inhaling, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. So often this downward dog can feel quite heavy if you're beginning yoga, and especially if the weight is a little more forward in the arms. So do feel free if you need to alternate a downward dog with a child's pose. You can always instead just drop the knees. See if you keep the arms still active. So we're staying for 4. And 5. So if the knees were down, you can just come back to your downward dog. Again, bend the knees, look forward, inhale, step or jump to the front of the mat. And on the exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, reach the arms, look up. And exhale, lower arms down, Samastiti. So we'll do one last round. On the inhale, reach the arms high, looking upwards. Exhaling, folding forward over the legs. Inhale, now lengthen the chest halfway up. Exhale, ground the palms, step or hop. And then if you're lowering in one line, you're trying to lower, keeping the elbows close. Reach the arms and chest forward. And exhale back to downward dog. So relaxing the muscles in your face. Staying for 4. And 5. Bending the knees on the inhale, step or jump to the front of the mat. And on the exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, reach the arms, looking up. And exhale, lower arms down, Samastiti. So we're moving to the Surya Namaskara B now. So see if you can sit low with the hips. On the inhale, reach again the arms, look up towards your thumbs. Exhale, fold forward all the way over the legs. Again, knees can be a little bent. Inhale, open the chest halfway up. Exhale to step or jump to your plank pose. Again, lower every time, option to drop the knees. Inhale towards your upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Now we're immediately stepping forward. So you're grounding your left heel. Step the right foot forward. If you can't step it in one step, you can sort of take a couple of hops. So your right foot's in between the hands. Then on the inhale, press into the feet, reach the arms high. We're just coming here, one breath. And then on the exhale, lower hands down, step back to your plank and lower down, chaturanga. Inhaling, coming forward, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Ground this time your right foot, left foot steps. On the inhale, reach the arms, look up. And on the exhale, lower hands down. You can take extra breaths here if you need. Lowering through your chaturanga. Inhaling, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Staying here for 5 breaths. So also option to drop the knees if you need here. Maybe just playing a little bit with that lift of the belly here. So there's this feeling of the belly drawing a little up. Staying for 1 more breath. And then bend the knees on the inhale, step or hop to the front of the mat. And on the exhale, fold forward over the legs. Sit low with the hips, reach the arms, look up. And exhaling back to Samastiti. Again, sit low with the hips, reach the arms, look up. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine halfway up. Exhale, step or jump. Lower down, either in one line or drop the knees. Inhaling, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Now ground again your left heel, right foot steps between the hands. Reach the arms high, just checking that your left heel is grounded here and not lifted. And then on the exhale, lower hands back down, step to your plank and lower down chaturanga. Inhaling, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Now ground this time, right heel, left foot steps forward. Reach the arms high. See if you can bring palms together. Exhale to lower back down. Chaturanga. Inhaling, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. If you're feeling that you've lost the breath a little, again, option instead to come down to your child's pose. So it's quite common for this sort of dynamic part of sun salutations to be quite challenging when you're beginning Ashtanga. So just doing your best to keep this steady breath. Staying for 1 more breath. And then if you're ready, come back to your downward dog if your knees were down. Step or jump to the front of the mat. And open the chest on that same inhale. Now exhale, fold forward over the legs. Sit low with the hips, reach the arms, gaze up. And exhaling back to Samastiti. So we do 1 last round. See if you can stay with the breath. Sit low with the hips, reach the arms on the inhale. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, opening the chest halfway up. Exhale, step or jump. Lower down through your chaturanga. Inhaling, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Ground to your left heel, right foot steps. Reach the arms high on the inhale. Exhale to lower down. Chaturanga. Inhaling, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Ground your right heel, left foot steps. Reach the arms high, gazing up. Exhale, lower down again through your chaturanga. Inhaling, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. If you're breathing sped up, just slow the breath back down. 3, 4. See if you can relax the jaw and soften the face. And then bend the knees on the inhale, step or jump to the front of the mat, opening the chest halfway up. And on the exhale, fold forward over the legs. Sit low with the hips, reach the arms, look up, and exhaling, straightening the legs and coming back, Samastiti. So we're moving into our series of standing poses now. Hopefully you're feeling nice and warm after this series of sun salutations. So I'm going to be standing here just to make it a bit more obvious, but if you're at home, you can just stay at the front of the mat here, facing forward, yeah? So from here, we're going to step or jump the feet hip distance apart. So we're coming to the first standing pose, Padangusthasana, which literally means holding onto the big toes. So you're going to fold forward from the hips, and to be able to hold the big toes, you might need to bend the knees a little here, so do feel free to do that. We come to the yogi toe lock, 2 fingers under, thumb on top. Now on the inhale, start to open the chest halfway up, and on the exhale, fold forward. You can draw the elbows out to the side if there's the space here, and drop the head down. If it's feeling, again, really hard to hold those toes, just allow the knees to bend a little deeper. That will also relieve any tension from the hamstrings. We're staying here 5 breaths again. And just notice again if the eyes are moving around the room, see if you can bring the gaze to the nose. So staying for 4. Maybe lean a little forward into the toes. And 5. Inhale from here, open the chest halfway up. Now we're staying low. We're sliding hands under the feet here, Padahastasana. So again, if you're beginning here and the hamstrings are needing it, just allow the knees to bend a little deeper than you might think they need to. To find that balance, grounding the toes into the hands, dropping the head down. 3, trying to allow the head to sink and the hips to lift up. So there's this length in the spine still. And we'll stay 1 more breath. And then opening the chest halfway up, slide the hands out from your feet. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, and exhale, closing the feet. So you can step or hop the feet together. So we're going to be using the full length of the mat for the next set of poses. So on the inhale, you can step your right foot towards the back side, reach the arms wide to the side, and then you spin your right toes towards the back of the mat. And we're coming towards triangle pose, Utthita Trikonasana. So your right hand is dropping down and the left arm is lifting up here. Now in Ashtanga, the variation is to grab the big toe with the hands again. So you'll see this theme coming in. Now this can be quite intense. So option again to slightly bend the knee so that you can really grab that big toe. And then over time, you might start to work a little on lengthening the leg. Notice if your chest is leaning a little forward, try to find the stacking of the shoulders, twist the chest up, and gaze up towards that left hand. Yeah. We're allowing the spine to be long here. You should feel stretch on the left side of the body. Staying for 4 and 5. Now gaze down on your exhale. Inhaling, coming up to standing, turn the feet to the opposite side. And now your left arm is coming down again. And again, option to bend the knee a little so you can grab that big toe. And then you might start to work, and this might be of course a case over time, of straightening the left leg. Gaze up towards your right hand. See if you can keep the lower ribs drawing in, keep the belly firm. Really creating that length so the hips are drawing one way back and the crown of the head is extending forward. Staying for one more breath. And then exhale to look down. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Now we're coming to the opposite version. So we're coming to a twisted pose. So you can see these series of poses coming in pairs or sort of 4s. And by remembering this, it will help you at one point learn the sequence. So we're coming to reverse triangle or Parivritta Trikonasana. Feet are turning towards the back side of the mat. Right hand is coming to the hip, and then you can start to lower your left hand down. And to really come into the twist, you want to try to bring your left hand towards the outside of the right foot. Now this again requires some opening in the right leg. So if you need here, slightly bend your right knee. And if it's hard to reach towards the outside of your right foot, you could just, to begin with, hold somewhere on your right shin. So you're creating that stretch, or maybe you're holding the ankle. And then the balancing kind of comes in as you start to reach your right arm up. Otherwise you could ground the fingertips here. And slowly over time, maybe working on grounding through the palm. Staying for 4 and 5. Exhale, look down. Now on the inhale, come all the way up. So don't get disheartened too much. This is quite a tricky pose, so just do your best. Reach that right arm forward as we come to twist to the left side. And again, either the right hand comes somewhere on the left leg, or it's coming down to the ground here. Like when we were in the other triangle pose, there's the option to bend a little the left knee here if you need it. So as you bend the left knee, it just relieves again a little bit of the tension from the hamstring. 3, see if you can really ground through your left big toe. Pressing your right heel also into the mat. Staying one more breath. And then exhale, look down. Inhale, come all the way back up, parallel the feet. And exhale to the front of the mat again, Samastiti. So we're going to come to the next set of 2 poses. So you can step again the right foot back on the inhale, reach the arms wide. First coming to side angle pose, Utthita Parsvakonasana. Right toes pointing to the back. Now this time we bend deeply into the right knee. Option, if you like here, to rest the right arm on the right thigh and then start to reach the left arm up and over. So you're engaging that right leg. You're allowing the length to be created on the left side. And if you're comfortable here, you might try to slide the right arm down, and then you're coming a bit more to the more advanced full version of the pose where right arm is on the outside of the right leg. Eventually, maybe even drawing the palm down. But if you're here with the right arm resting on the thigh, absolutely fine. Inhale, now come all the way back up. pivot the feet to the opposite side. You can bend the left knee. Again, left arm can rest on the thigh, right arm coming over. There's always these counter stretches in yoga. So as I'm leaning forward with the left leg, the right leg is also engaging back. So you're not sinking too much down into the hips. Great. Staying here, or if you did on the opposite side, you might lower the left arm down. No worries if this doesn't feel appropriate today. And then on the inhale, come all the way back up. And exhale, turning the feet back. So you'll see a pattern emerging here as we're coming to the next twisted version. So Parivritta, Parsvakonasana. You can lower to begin with the left knee down. So this will just give you the support. Left toe stays tucked. Now bringing your left elbow to the outside of that right knee. Sliding first as much as you can the left shoulder down. And then if you can, draw the left arm down close to that left foot and reach the right arm up. If this feels too much, left arm can be reaching out to the side a little. So you're still creating that nice twist. And if you're steady here, you can start to extend the back leg. And maybe over time, you start to work on drawing the heel down. If this feels too much and you feel you're losing the twist, you can keep that left heel to begin with up from the ground or drop the left knee down. Now use the inhale to come all the way up to standing, parallel your feet, and exhale, turning towards the opposite side. So you can spin onto the ball of the back foot if you like. Drop the knee down so you take the time to come into the pose, and then cross right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Take a moment to really find that deep twist. And then see if you can draw the outside of the shoulder to the outside of the knee. Right arm is dropping down or a little to the side, and left arm is reaching up. So just showing, since I realize both options you're not really able to see super well. You're kind of either in this position or this position. Yeah. And then use, when you're ready, the next inhale to come all the way up again, parallel your feet. Exhale to the front of the mat again, Samastiti. So we're moving into a few more standing poses. The next set, we're stepping the right foot back. This is a series of Prasarita Padottanasana. So we're working on wide-legged forward folds here. Bringing the hands to the hips, just making sure your step is wide enough and the toes are slightly in. And then on the exhale, start to fold forward from the hips. And then see if you can bring the hands right down onto the shoulders. So if this is difficult, again, here's our friend of bending the knees a little. You can, if you have the space, really ground through the palms of the hands, allow the spine to lengthen. And either staying here, so you're working on extending the legs and extending the chest, or you can start to fold a little deeper from the hips. And as you fold, you walk the hands more in line with the feet, and then you start to drop the head a little down. So the elbows might start to bend a little here. And you're allowing the spine to be long, crown of the head to drop. Again, option to be doing this with the knees a little bent, and over time working on extending the legs. Inhale, now open the chest halfway up. Exhale, pausing here. Hands come back to the hips. Inhale to come all the way back up, and exhale to reach the arms down either side. So we're moving to the B, the second one. Arms reach wide to the side. Exhale, bring the hands to the hips and draw the elbows back. On the inhale, start to lengthen through the spine. Exhale, folding forward. This time we keep the hands on the hips. So if you're just folding halfway, absolutely fine. If there's a little bit more space to fold further, also fine. Working here on drawing the elbows a little back towards each other rather than away. And allowing the spine to be nice and long. Use the next inhale to come all the way back up. And exhale, release the arms down. Moving to C, number 3. Inhale, reach the arms wide to the side. Exhale, bring the arms behind the back, and from here interlace the fingers. Now on the inhale, start to lengthen the spine, draw the shoulders back. Exhale to fold forward from the hips. Now depending on what's happening with your shoulders here, shoulders are tight, it can feel nice to keep the hands interlaced, back of the hands reaching away. But if the shoulders feel pretty flexible, you might choose to bend the arms at the elbows and then start to press the palms away. And this just helps you really get a bit more into the front of the shoulder. So seeing which feels appropriate. Leaning the weight maybe slightly forward into the toes. So you're really finding that forward fold. Legs are super engaged. And then on the inhale, come all the way back up. And exhale, releasing the arms down. So moving to the last one, D. For D, hands come immediately to the hips on your inhale. Exhale, fold forward, option to slightly bend the knees as you reach towards the big toes. So again, like the other yogi toe lock positions, bend the knees as much as you need. Opening the chest forward, so lean forward on your inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Bending the elbows out to the side and seeing if you can drop the head a little down. Gazing with the eyes to the nose, keeping breath steady. Staying one more breath. And then inhale, open the chest halfway up. Exhale, pause again here. Then hands come back to the hips. Inhaling, come all the way up. And exhale to the front of the mat again, Samastiti. So we're progressing through the standing poses. The next pose comes on its own. So you're bringing the arms behind the back, and you can either hold the opposite elbow, so working on drawing the shoulders back, or if you've got the space, you're trying to draw here the palms together. So see what works for you today. Now take a step back with your right foot, and this time the step is a bit smaller. We're turning towards the right leg. And then on the exhale, you're folding forward from the hips and twisting to that right leg. Option here if you need to slightly bend the right knee to relieve a little bit of the tension of the hamstrings, feel free. Allow the spine to be as long as you can here. And back leg to be heavy. If the palms are together, you're pressing the palms, drawing the elbows back. And if you're holding the opposite elbows, you're really trying to allow still that front of the shoulder to open. Now inhale, come all the way up. Now pivot the feet to the opposite side. And then you do exactly the same on the left side. So extending forward from the hips. And if halfway is where you are today, feel free to be there. If you want to allow that front knee to bend, working over time on lengthening it. Finding, if you can, that engagement from the belly. Then inhale, come up, parallel the feet from here. You can release the arms. And exhale to the front of the mat, Samastiti. So now we're moving into a few of the more challenging poses, standing balances. Again, if you've just got the space, you can be at the front of the mat. I'll turn here for the sake of showing it. So you can first start to balance on your left leg, so really activating the left leg. Left hand can be on the left hip, and then you start to lift the right leg up and see if you can hold the knee with the hand and start to guide the knee in. So notice if your left big toe starts to lift, like mine did right then. Just try to ground through the big toe so the standing leg stays active. You can stay here holding the knee or slide the hand to the big toe and again staying here. If you're feeling steady or you've been practicing this for a little bit of time, you can work slowly on extending the leg forward and maybe completely extending the leg forward. Only when the leg is extended would I recommend starting to play with folding forward, because it starts to get all a bit wobbly. So best to first find that foundation of the standing leg and the extension of that right leg first. So we stay here one more breath. Exhale, opening the leg out to the side. Now again, if the leg feels too much to have it straight, you can be holding it bent with the big toe, or you can be holding the knee. And whichever option you choose, you're gazing over the left shoulder. So you're looking at this small point on the floor that's not moving. Staying one more breath. And then inhale, bring the knee back to the center. Now there's the option from here to fold forward with the knee bent or to extend the leg. And then from here, wherever you are, see if you can really extend the right leg, really point the toe, activate the leg. And at the same time, lifting up out through the crown of the head. Great. Slowly exhale, release. And then changing sides, so balancing on the right leg. Slowly lifting the left leg up. An option to hold the knee with the hand or to slide the hand towards the big toe. And gradually maybe extend the leg out in front. And if this position with the leg extended is comfortable, the next step would be working on folding forward with the upper body. But if you're just first here on balancing, don't worry too much. Now exhale, we start to open the left leg to the left side. So again, you're either with the big toe somewhere, or you're holding the knee, and you gaze then to the floor on the right side. Particularly here, allow the spine to lift, ground through your right big toe. And then inhale, bring the leg towards the center. Again, you're holding the big toe or the knee. Exhale, maybe fold forward. Now extend the leg as much as you can. If it's hard to keep the leg high, leg can be a little lower, but you're really pointing the toe to engage the leg. For 4 and 5. Exhale, slowly release. So we're coming to the second standing balance, again requiring a bit of opening from the hip for the traditional version of the pose. So you can begin with balancing on the left leg, slightly bending the knee, flex that right foot, and then see if you can place the foot just above the knee. So you're slightly bending the knee here, working on opening the hip. So this is a great position if the hips feel a bit closed or if you've got any issues with knee pain. And from here, you can even start to be working on folding a little forward, and you'll feel then more stretch on the hip. If knees are feeling fine, you can start to work on lifting the foot a little higher. Again, if there's that space in the hip to do so, coming maybe to what we call the half lotus and wrapping the right arm. And then the right arm either holds the left arm, or you might extend to the big toe if there's the space. And again, there's the option to stay upright or to start to fold forward. So you might, as you're folding, bend a little this standing leg, but eventually over time you're working on straightening the leg and letting the body fold forward. So we're staying here for 4, wherever you are. You're slightly upright, fine. And then if you're folded forward now, inhale, lift the chest, exhale, bend a little the standing leg. Inhaling, coming up to standing, and exhale, release the leg down. Change sides, so balance on the right leg, slightly bend the knee, flex the left foot. So again, you can come to this hip opener version, either upright or as you fold. Again, the left foot is flexed here, and that will help with the hip. If this side feels comfortable for the half lotus, feel free. Left arm can wrap. And staying wherever you are, either again upright or folded for 4 and 5. Inhale, now lift the chest, exhale, bend a little the standing leg. Inhaling, coming up, and exhale, release the leg down. Use that next inhale to circle arms high, gaze all the way up towards your thumbs. Exhale, fold forward from the hips. Inhale, open the chest halfway up. Exhale, step or jump to your plank. Lower down, chaturanga or through the knees. Inhaling, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Utkatasana, so inhale, step or jump both feet forward. Sit then low with the hips and reach the arms up. So if you have the space here, trying to bring the palms really together and then lift the palms right up. Option to slightly bend the elbows if you need the extra space here. And staying for 4, weight is strong in the heels. And 5, now exhale, we're again folding forward. Press into hand step or jump back. Lower down, chaturanga or through the knees. Inhaling, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. So almost at the end, you can ground the left foot, right foot steps forward. So coming to warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Inhale from here, reach both arms up. So we're here in the sun salutations. Ground through your right knee. Gaze, if you can, up to the thumbs. Again, like we were in Utkatasana, the chair pose, you can bend the arms a little if it's hard to lengthen. Then after 5 breaths, we pivot the feet to the opposite side. Bend into the left knee, twist towards that leg. So belly is reaching also to the left leg. And again, gaze is looking up here. Tendency is as we're leaning forward to forget again about the right leg. So see if you can draw the right leg a little back as you sink into your left leg. Opening the arms wide, coming to Virabhadrasana B here. So left knee stays bent. Arms are reaching wide and you're gazing over that left arm. Again, tendency to lean forward. So try to keep the head right above your hips. Staying 1 more breath. Pivot the feet to the opposite side. Final standing pose here. Bending into that right knee. Again, left leg stays active, left hip sinks. And then exhale, circle the arms down to the ground. Step back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhaling, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale, step slowly through to a seated position. I'm just going to finish with the last 3 seated poses. So you can find a comfortable cross-legged position here. Reach the arms behind the back again. See if you can hold the opposite elbows. And this is a moment where you can also be working a bit on opening the hips. So if there is the space in the hips, You can choose to lift one foot coming to that half lotus. And this is a great place to work on the half lotus, and it will really help with that standing balance where we're using the half lotus as well. Just make sure you alternate every now and then. So from here we're folding forward. You're still holding the elbows. If head is hanging somewhere, just let it hang. If you have a bit more space, the head might drop down onto something. And we stay here for 10 breaths. So you're noticing we're slowing the practice down now. You can also let that be shown in the breath, so just slow the breath down. Relaxing the rest of the body. If you find maybe halfway, this half lotus is a little bit intense, always know you can readjust yourself. So just coming to that regular cross-legged position if that's more comfortable. So we're staying here for 4 more breaths. Use that next inhale to slowly come, you're releasing the arms. Arms coming in front, you can bring the thumb and first finger together, tuck the chin down into the chest. As you're tucking the chin down, allow your chest also to lift up. So there's not a sinking sensation, there's more of a lifting, creating space for your breath. Particularly nice moment here to focus on your ujjayi breathing. Breathing slowly with sound. And notice also what's happening with your eyes. So as we become more still, maybe the mind is getting more busy. So keeping this soft gaze, looking down. Stay 1 more breath. And then lifting the head back up slowly. And then from here, we're coming to the Utpluthih. So I really encourage you not to skip this pose. So there's different versions of the pose to help build the strength here. So if the legs are crossed, you can just lift the knees up. So as the knees come high, it creates that space. If you're in the half lotus, you can come into the pose here, also in the half lotus if you want to experiment. So hands want to be in front of the hips. You're spreading the palms and we're lifting up. So you're first trying to lift forward up with the hips, ground through the palms. Really engage the belly here. And then if you can, maybe lift one foot, maybe lift the other foot. Keep spreading the fingers, grounding through the palms. Great. If you fall out, just try to stay in. And even if nothing is lifting, feel that sensation of lifting. So palms are still grounding. We're staying for 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Exhale, release. Hands coming in front. Step or jump back. Lower one last time through your chaturanga. Inhaling, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Step slowly through to to a seated position on your inhale. You can come for a well-earned Savasana, so feet are falling open to the side. You can just come to lie on the back, palms facing up and arms a little away from the body. So releasing now any control from your breath. Just letting the body sink down in the ground. So feeling free to stay at least 5 minutes here resting in Shavasana. And then when you're ready, you can just start to wiggle fingers, wiggle your toes, reach the arms up and over the head. And then coming slowly, hug knees to the chest, rolling over onto one side, and finding from here your way up to a seated position. So if you made it all the way through the practice, well done. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful, the tips here. Even though I've been calling this a beginner's version to Ashtanga because sort of really spending the time to explain some of the details around the poses, it's still quite an intense practice, this practice. So if you did feel that during times of that practice it was hard to stay with your breath, or you're a bit confused about the poses, don't worry. Just try it again a few times, and the more you do it, the more familiar your body will get with it, and the more easy it will be to kind of look and explore the more subtle levels. So thanks so much, and I hope to see you again soon.